This show is a member of the Sorgatron Media Podcast Network. Find out more at sorgatronmedia.com. This show is brought to you by Slice on Broadway, supporting Pittsburgh podcasting with the perfect pepperoni pizza. Production services by Sidekick Media Services. And listeners like you, supporting us at patreon.com/awesomecast. It's time to get geeky, get awesome. It is the AwesomeCast. I'm Mike Sorgatron on the Twitter here in the Sorgatron Media Studios in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, ready to get geeky with you. I got with me on the line from Studio C in Dormont, PA, the gadget guru from Big Bank International, Esquire, is John Chichilla. How you doing, sir?
How's it going? When are they going to get that T-bridge fixed?
The T-bridge, yeah, seriously, it's like ruining it. Man, I'm glad I don't have to deal with public transportation in this city because it sounds like it all fell apart over the last several months. Between that and I guess vaccinations and stuff, and everybody left, and I don't know. It's wild right now. So is this city officially crippled yet at this point?
Well, and it's funny because not only that, so I had to lug some stuff home from the city, so I opted not to take the T last week.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll tell you what, it's like, I know a lot of people are talking about inflation and whatnot, but like the price of the T didn't go up, right?
Okay.
But I swear I remember being able to park relatively, and I mean not like in one of the like upscale parking garages or whatever.
They're upscale parking garages?
Well, but like, I mean, like in an open lot, not in a garage. I swear I remember being able to park like for like $5, maybe $7.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and you were walking a couple blocks, I get it, but I mean now like parking is like triple.
Mm-hmm.
I paid $20 to park, and I remember I would go to the hot dog guy and I would get my $6 double dog combo with, chips and a pop with whatever toppings I wanted on it. I got a hamburger, fries, and a drink, a small drink and a small fry and a hamburger. And it was like $18.
Jeez.
So my trip to the city was like, it's a $40 trip.
It was like a lot more costly than usual. Yeah, we had a little bit of sticker shock when we were in California. Denny's was twice the price when we Grubhubbed it. And we tried to find someplace nearby to eat, and we're like, this looks like a nicer restaurant, but not like super super nice. And we try to pull in, and the lot, it was like a business park with a restaurant in it, and the lot was something like $3 per every 15 minutes. And we're like, what the hell is this? This isn't worth whatever this restaurant is. Let's go. I think that's when we gave up and just went back and ordered Denny's. So, as well as you have a long day and you're like, we got to get something to eat, and nothing's easy to get to, and you're like, screw it, just go back to the hotel room and get some Grubhub, So, and hopefully that doesn't get weird. But anyways, this is the AwesomeCast, not to complain about the prices and inflation cast. Now that's the old man cast. But you can check out everything at awesomecast.com. You can of course, subscribe to the show, AwesomeCast, on the Twitter. You can see us streaming live every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern on the AwesomeCast Facebook page, on the YouTube page, on the Twitter, as well as on the Sorgatron Media Twitch page. And we do have, and I'll pull the Twitter up here if anybody happens to be joining us on the streams over there too. But yeah, we're going to be hanging out and seeing what's going on in the chats and seeing what's going on. Oh my God, I'm sorry. Apparently I broke Twitter yesterday by tweeting that we need more pro wrestling and dead balls, and about 500 likes later, apparently I'm very popular again. So it's pretty amazing. But and also you can join our conversations over in the AwesomeCast Facebook group, Discord, or Reddit. And of course, thanks to our partners over at postindustrial.com that are sharing this show. And thank you to a shout out to our friends at patreon.com/awesomecast supporting this show. Our friend at the executive producer level, Brian Crawford, from right up the street here, like the Coffee Club Oval, Matt Weller, John Carmen, Cynthia Clossy, Scott McTaggart, and Mike Pound. At the fan of the show level, Michael Fedor, Professor Buzzkill, and Dave Podner. You guys can support the show too. Keep it rolling at patreon.com/awesomecast. And we did post late last week. Podner stuck around with us after the show and kind of gave us a little bit of a quick primer on iPhone photography best practices for us layman's out there. So definitely go check that out. A little bit of additional content for you guys that are supporting us over on the Patreon page. We do appreciate you and trying to get a little bit extra out there for you. So let's get into our awesome things of the week, and this looks like more. This looks like more scary things that you're about to share with me, Chilla.
I don't think it's scary.
No.
In fact, it dovetails into one of the articles I put way later down in the show notes. But so Wise has announced a new door lock that I guess they claim is not smart, but it's smarter than your average door lock, right? So it's for your deadbolt. So if you're if you think, I don't know what kind of system you have on your front door, back door, externally facing doors, like we have the knob on the bottom that has a key lock, and then we have the deadbolt that's completely separate, right? This Wise device is just the deadbolt section, so it's not the door handle. But interestingly enough, it has a fingerprint sensor that looks a lot like the fingerprint reader on an older iPhone, and a keypad. The interesting thing is the device does not hook up to your Wi-Fi, so you're not going to be able to remotely check the status of the lock, oh, did I forget to lock it, and check from remote, or hey, I forgot to lock it and I'm miles away, I'm gonna hit the lock button and it's gonna auto trip the deadbolt. You're not gonna get that feature functionality out of it. But because it's not hooked up to your Wi-Fi, the price comes in at about $70, which is under half the cost of what you typically see out of these types of deadbolts because of the lack of Wi-Fi. The other thing that you pick up between the fact that it is Bluetooth 5 and that there's no Wi-Fi, 4 AA batteries will get you about a year of battery life.
Nice.
Which I think is, very reasonable. Considering it's just running on some AA batteries. Obviously, the AA batteries are on the inside, so you can't get to kind of the controls. There is a fast pair Bluetooth button that you can use. You can use the app to unlock the deadbolt, but it has about a 16-foot range. Okay. So you're not gonna. It's like I said, you're not going to be, oh, hey, did I forget to lock the door, or hey, I'm gonna hit the lock button. But
that's not bad because my car is basically parked right in front of my house most of the time, so that's well within. I feel 16. No, maybe just outside of that, but still, potentially it could pick up and take care of that. And then the fact it'll actually store 50 fingerprints. Ooh. And 20 different keypad codes. So that's 2.5 people worth of prints.
Yes. If you're going to scan every one of their fingers.
That's right. Yeah. No, fingers and toes.
Fingers and toes.
Fingers and toes. That's why I said 2.5.
So, I will say I kind of like this concept. Even if you're, and probably not the fingerprint side, but the 20 codes, I know we had a general contractor coming over and doing some work. And it was nice because I actually, and I don't have one of these because they were just announced, but I have just the basic keypad. And I actually, instead of giving him a key or worrying about, making sure I was home at the exact time he was going to show up, I actually gave him his own PIN code. I added it, and then when the work was done, because it was a couple months worth of work, then I just removed his code, and I didn't have to worry. It's one of those things, right? Like, you give someone your key, did they make a copy of it? You never know. This, to me, I get a little more comfort. Yeah, anyone could walk up there and just start randomly pushing buttons, but what's the chances of them getting something
And,
right?
and so upon saying useful for a code. I mean, and a lot of times, I don't know if you do a lot of Airbnbs, Chilla, but I know I have over the years, and a lot of times it is, hey, here's the key code, or we'll make the key code like the last 4 digits of the phone number you gave us, right?
Mm-hmm.
So like that's been kind of nice with things. So, but yeah, I could see this kind of applying to that. And then for you, you have your fingerprint to get into the joint, right?
Yep.
And don't have to worry about it. So, but that is nice. Like it'd be really nice. Like we have a key code here at the office, and I'd love to put it on the house or other doors in the office or something like that. So I'm kind of looking at things like that. So, but I love.
Yeah, this
so,
actually
wait,
makes
wait.
me want to put like a deadbolt on my office door.
Right,
Like,
right. So, what it is? Hey, check this out. So you're just talking about push up buttons on this thing, and the button pusher just popped up in our chat room. So what's up, buttons? From over at Grind City. So I love that. But no, that sounds pretty cool. I still need to get a doorbell for the front of the office. So I don't know if people are knocking on the door when I'm in the back. I have no idea. Also, we have less random people dropping by because it doesn't look like anybody's here half the time. So because the studio's usually dark, we're just hanging out in the office in the back. But anyways, but no, Wise has been pretty good. I gotta say, I'm really disappointed though. My mother had an incident, unfortunately, with her dog in an Amazon driver, and she got the outdoor Wise Cam. And this is something that I've had every once in a while with the Wise Cams too. The Wise Cam works great except for when you need it. Like it's when you needed it that thing didn't capture for some reason, or you realize something happened and it was 2 weeks later and it's too late. Like I just found a bunch of beer cans in my side yard, and you can see one of them on the camera, like if you look for it, and realize they've been there for more than 2 weeks. So I can't figure out who did it, right? And that's why I have it there, is to find out, like, hey, is somebody, who's doing what weird crap and jumping trash in my side yard kind of thing. Like, it's so bad in front of my house right now. So, well, we got a spring cleaning project to do for sure. But anyways, but she had that, and it looked like she hadn't been recording since she got the camera like over a month ago. And it's one of those things where it records only when it sees motion, so it can save battery kind of things. But it just was recording nothing. So it's almost worthless, right? So I upgraded her to the Cam Plus AI and all that kind of stuff, and I'm seeing more. But then I saw nothing yesterday when I know she's left the house or let the dogs out or something. So I'm really kind of disheartened with how well something like that is working. I don't know if it would work better if we plugged it in directly, so that it would operate like the other cameras that are at least like recording to the card like 24/7. So you could go back and just say, okay, this happened here. I can look at the massive recording and go to the time and find the thing. I do the same thing when I'm like, who was here at this time when X happened, right? We do that a lot of times when weird things happen in front of the studio because we're on a very public street in the middle of a business district, right? So, I mean, at least there's options for that. So I'm a little plus the news about the version 1 security breach that Wise never told us about is a little.
Well, I guess this
pause.
not being connected to anything kind of gives you.
Yes, absolutely. But you still have Bluetooth. And
That's true.
is a security hole. I am not one that usually is. I have to say that in due diligence for anybody thinking about Wise, there was an issue where they had a security breach on the version 1 cams, Wise cams, and didn't tell anybody apparently for several years until recently. And now you can't update them because they're too old. So I have to let people know about that. It's not going to stop me necessarily from picking up Wise equipment, because I still like them, and I don't have anything sensitive that, I'm not putting them anywhere sensitive that I would be concerned. But yeah. But anyways, that's the idea there. But no, that's really cool. I'm really curious to see, and I'd be curious, and also knowing that it's taking a fingerprint, but that's not going up to the web is of concern too. So because that's not going to go into Wise's servers, and that gets hacked, and now your BIOS are out there. But I'm the one that put my palm print to pick up a Monster Energy drink at I didn't even know what airport I was in. Was that Chicago? There's something.
I think it was, yeah.
Was it Chicago? I don't even know right now where the hell we were. So
or was it Denver?
No,
wasn't Denver.
It wasn't Denver. Actually, Chicago might have been the other one. No, I don't even know anymore, man. I don't even know which one. It was morning. I know because I was trying to figure out. It was Midway. It had to have been Midway. No, that wasn't the Palm. That was Texas. I think that was Texas. We were leaving. Anyways, that's not important right now. What is important is the next awesome thing of the week, and that is I think somebody sent this to me, and I apologize, I can't remember it, but this was a Facebook post, and since I was just in this facility, it was really appropriate, I thought. And hopefully it opens up in Facebook. Uh-oh, it's not loading well. Apparently, once a year, if I get this post to load, once a year, normally a totally normal dude rents out AT&T Stadium, the place where I just attended WrestleMania, of course, the home of the Dallas Cowboys, and creates the world's largest Nerf battle arena. The event is recognized by Guinness World Records as the world's largest toy pistol fight in 2016, and the record still stands this day. 4,000 participants battle amongst 100+ large obstacles on the field of the world's biggest stadium. That dude is me. It's called Jared's Epic Blaster Battle, and it's coming back June 25th, 2022. So this is a thing that goes down on Facebook. Oh, there's an Eventbrite. Here we go. I did not get that deep into this. But Jared's Epical Blaster Battle. So apparently I'm going back to Dallas again. There it is. There it is. The largest toy blaster battle on Earth. That's awesome.
And it's only between $16 and $32.
Yes, only. Yeah. I mean, well, you get 4,000 people. It kind of pays for itself, doesn't it? And there's some super Nerf stuff. Does it bring your own Nerf? It doesn't even matter, man. It doesn't even matter. I go buy like a bunch of these things in order to do this. Look at the mayhem. Look at the mayhem. This is great. That's fantastic.
You should just run around there and collect all the darts and balls from all over the floor.
Okay.
And you could easily pay for your ticket reselling them all on Amazon.
You just pick them up and you set it at a booth on the side and be like, and you just upsell it, just like they do everything else in the arena like that, right? Jeez, that is so cool. Free parking. Every entry to participate in a 4-hour series of more than 15 amazing battles. And of course, you can tour the stadium and be on the NFL, play with your own blaster toys on the stadium field. Yeah, it's pretty cool. That's a pretty cool thing. So, and I guess they work with, they have hands-on for prototypes that were revealed at the New York Toy Fair. Pre-release toy blaster items. Is that officially? Is Nerf officially with this? Maybe. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. So that'd be worthwhile if I was able to get down there again. Yeah, we'll have to bookmark it. It has to be a go-to. How much would it cost to rent out the Highmark Stadium in the South Side? Yeah, why can't we do this, right?
It's interesting because I don't know if you've watched on like the TikToks or YouTube where people are modifying the Nerf guns.
No.
And this actually, like they throw, like if you've used like one of the motorized Nerf guns, they've like put a faster RPM motor in there, like it's shooting lightning fast. They actually call it out in here. You must bring your own unmodified toy blaster and
unmodified.
Ammo.
They're checking that at the door.
But they're serious, right? You must bring your own unmodified toy blaster and ammo. You must have at least one toy blaster to participate in the battles on the field. And then the next one. Modified toy blasters are not allowed for safety and liability reasons. Yeah. This includes painted blasters and blasters with 3D printed parts stocks.
So we're allowed to bring modified blasters?
Yes,
hey!
As many as you want. Or you can bring none at all.
It's a Dudders drop-in.
Nerf. Yep, I'm going to hurl Nerf darts at people. No, I'm passenger.
Oh, good.
Yeah, I'm just blurring it so it's not as awful in the background. Nope, I'm a passenger Dudders.
You dropped in
Driving
like the
Miss
perfect
Dudders.
part of this too. So,
Good.
did you look at this Nerf story by chance?
Yes, I
Awesome.
want to do it.
You want
We should
to?
do it. If not, yeah, we should just, even if it's just us. We don't need that big of an arena. It's just us.
Well, Potter was just asking in the chat room how much it would cost to rent the Highmark Stadium. So, I mean, so or I don't know. You got some connections with some some venues in the area, right? So, so you're on the road right now. So, we're still an awesome thing of the week. So, you have anything you want to bring up here while we still got connection with you?
Oh yeah, that's all. The worst part is I got a new laptop, and we can't even talk about it because I'm using my phone right now.
Mm-hmm.
Which would be really awesome to talk about because I love my new laptop. But let's talk. I did see a cupcake dispensing machine at the airport, which was pretty cool and would qualify as awesome thing of the week.
Mm-hmm.
We saw that in. We were selling sprinkles. I think it was a cupcake dispenser.
Oh,
Was it like? Does it get restocked every so often? Because there's one in. Oh, what's the mall near South? The other mall near South Hills Village.
At the Galleria?
The Galleria.
Oh, right. That's where I saw it.
Ooh.
Yeah, right next, and it's funny. Right next, it's like right across from Starbucks.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And their cupcakes were really good, but it looked like they honestly stock it about like once or twice a week.
Mm-hmm.
So no, I thought it was.
This one was fully stocked.
Well, the airport, I guess there's probably a lot of foot traffic.
Yeah, there's a lot higher volume of foot traffic there probably than the Galleria Mall right now. So even with the Starbucks, so.
And they had it literally placed right outside the restrooms, so that was kind of weird because you were lined up to use the restroom, and there were people buying cupcakes. It was a little awkward, but it was okay. We made it work.
Just a little sup situation going on there. So, awesome. Anything else you want to bring up while we got you on the line here?
Right. Are we going to talk about Aero?
Yeah, if you'd like to. You got to experience your first Aero design event with SAE that we did.
Correct. That was amazing. We so I've never seen, so like I guess you called them RC planes, which makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Seeing the size of them, and then they're unmanned, and the students build them, and sometimes they fly, and sometimes they don't. And if they don't, the students just keep working on them until they do, and or make them worse, as we saw with a couple of them.
Yeah. I was really astonished. There wasn't a lot of. I felt. Can I say the planes were disappointingly successful this go around? Like there weren't a lot of crashes. There, like most of them got up in the air. Like the students were like really good about getting them out there.
I heard what you were about to say, and you didn't say it, and I'm proud of you.
Yep.
So
After dark.
When they build, like, do they have to build everything from scratch? Like they can't use any prefabricated parts, or?
Yeah, they're designing them from scratch. There's specifications for their classes. We've talked about this before: regular, micro, and advanced. The advanced now have automated gliders they need to drop. So a little bit of extra bits of difficulty there. But the micro class needs to take off of basically a table aircraft carrier style, more or less. So a lot of fun stuff there. Here, I found some more pictures here of Aero for you to check out. So Chilla, like here's what the most of these are the regular class ones. Actually, that's a micro class in the back. If you're looking at the picture, that would have to take off of one of those tables. The regular class, they have to have a payload, and that's how they score parts of it. And you see that there's soccer balls in there, which adds a little bit of difficulty because you got to put something big in the middle of it. This one is loaded up, you see, with multiple soccer balls, right? So it adds a little bit of bulk to your design. There's a bigger one, and that one was pretty successful, if I recall. So it was pretty cool. And this was in Van Nuys, California, not far from Hollywood, and in kind of the northern hills, I suppose, of Los Angeles.
The taking off the table, like you compared it to an aircraft carrier. So the table's pretty long, or
it's basically a it was basically a folding table, or wasn't it? Like
so there's not a lot of distance. Like,
No.
Did they have any planes that were like Harriers where like they can take off?
No. Everything's a propeller, electric. No quads or anything like that. There's no helicopters in this competition. They're all planes. they're all plane models. So,
but the Harrier jet, right? It flips its turbines, right?
Right. That is not the spec on these ones.
That's not the spec.
That is not the spec on these ones at all. It's a pretty standard plane, and there's they literally like taped in the soccer ball in this one. I think I saw them do this because they have to unload. They have to they're timed in being able to remove their payload, so nobody's like super gluing the payload to the plane. So, and there's just a little bit as doing a stand up and some other work there. So, and there's Katie with her camera as well. So, Katie was with me for doing some photography of this. So
very cool.
And of course, I'm doing the highlight video. And we did live stream the awards ceremony from a field. That was a lot of fun. The difficulty multiply there. But yeah. So I mean that was her first foray. And next, Katie, you're going out to Baja with me in Nashville.
Yeah.
So
like this is more like off-roading.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. So, yeah, we'll be on Tennessee Tech in Cookeville, Tennessee, for 3 days in about I don't know, second week of May, whatever, however far out that is. I don't know what week it is right now. So, but awesome.
We'll be surprisingly not near Dollywood.
Yeah, not near Dollywood. I should look at a map before I buy tickets to an amusement park. Apparently, so but that's okay. A little bit of time on the road, but either way. So the Dudders World Tour continues. Give her space because she's on the road, so I don't know how well the bandwidth is out there. So, awesome. Katie, anything else you want to say here? I think we lost her. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe.
No, I'm here. Maybe.
She's there.
I
see movement.
We just like see her bouncing around in the car
Weird.
as she's going. All right. Well, hey, she's catching up.
Yeah.
Let's give a shout out to our friends at Slice on Broadway, supporting Pittsburgh podcasting with the perfect pepperoni pizza in New York City style. Yins are made in Beachview, Carnegie, the East End, and North Hills. 4 locations. Go check them out. SliceOnBroadway.com for all your pizza-ness, and thank you to them for supporting the AwesomeCast for well over a decade. So let's see. What else do we got in here? Katie, are there any other stories? I don't know if you got to see the doc before. Anything else of interest while we still got you on the line that you want to bring up?
No, I didn't check the doc. That's my fault.
Well, that's good. Okay, well, we'll roll with this. Do you remember the Optimus Prime that transformed itself?
Ooh, yeah.
Well, now you can get a trailer for it that also apparently transforms itself. Yes, the RoboSense Optimus Prime Transformer robot gets an auto-converting trailer. Now, it was a $900 Optimus Prime, but now you can get the trailer for an extra $750. So, fantastic for your full-on, and it's got the rover and everything that you would see. I don't even know if the rover came with, like, the original toy Optimus Prime back in the 80s, but
I thought the original like toy one, like the trailer opened up like almost like a book,
mm-hmm.
and then it had a base, and wasn't there like some kind of gun or something in there?
I think so.
The original?
Yeah.
Yeah. It was like it was like it opened up and it had like a gunner turret kind of thing, if I recall, right? And it looks like
That's what I think. I'm getting out the Google machine.
the double check.
The one we had, I knew had it, but I don't know. I think it was the original.
Mm-hmm.
Not to look.
Yeah, it did. It had like a thing that opened up, and then it had like a turret gunner in there.
The trailer is 3 feet long, fully extended, and automatically unfolds and tilts vertically into a nearly flat rectangular shield, complete with an integrated articulating sentry blaster. In truck mode, it houses the roller vehicle and the human sidekick Spike, who is ready to jump into action or enjoy the ride. Wow. Jeez.
See, now they need to do one of those things, but they need to make this thing where it can transform and then take off.
You can open the wait. You can open the trailer's rear swing doors with a voice command or control the truck and roller car using an app. Wow.
They should make it like the one BB-8 that would like kind of you had the controller and the controller had like a belt clip, and then BB-8 would follow you around. This thing could just follow you around.
I think you almost could with that. Well, I mean, with the app, you can kind of have that happen, right? The meticulous, high-grade metal parts, cutting-edge robotics tech. Uses 18 servo motors and 60 microchips with over 2,000 components. Jeez, this is a super toy. The deliveries won't start until November of 2022, though. Holy crap! This is the listen, guys. There's always been like a level when I know that I've done well enough for myself that I could own. It was always been my mark for like I've done well enough for myself that I can purchase an arcade machine and put it in my den or office. This also gets added on to that. When you're doing well enough that you can purchase a fully automated robotic Optimus Prime complete with trailer for about $1,500. So that's high goals there. So wow. So get your pre-orders in now, I guess, if you're down for that. I should not tell Ronnie about this. He'll be saving up for it for a while. What else we got here? Google now lets you search for things that you can't describe. This felt like I feel like I how many times we're like, that thing with the song, and I don't know. And I guess it's a US beta, and they say starting with the picture. This is part of the photo search. Like it's I don't know. It's just another extension of something like that. It's Google Lens multi-search feature. It teased last September and search on event. Ref demo so far. It's rolling onto the Google iOS app and mostly aimed at shopping. So you can't describe what that dress looks like. So I guess that's not so much a me and Chilla problem there, is it?
I'm interested in it. I was trying to find over the weekend. Someone had a mason jar that had like the mason the glass was like etched in a honeycomb pattern.
Mm-hmm.
And I couldn't describe it in a way that I could get Amazon or anyone else to find what I was looking for. Because if you type in like honeycomb pattern mason jar, you get the mason jars that are for honey. Or you get mason jars with a honeycomb inside of it.
But they're probably called a very specific thing, right?
Right, but the funny part is the mason jar was Mason brand, and it said honeycomb mason jar. Like I saw the label. I ended up finding it after 20 minutes of searching. But this would have been super helpful because I did have a picture of it.
Mm-hmm.
So I could see where this comes in handy.
So if you had a picture of that jar,
Yeah, and I did
That's
have
the
a picture of
problem.
the
Yeah,
jar.
you have to have like this thing. How do I describe what this is to find it in Google? And you can throw the picture in it and
Mhm.
and go from there, right? So no, I think that's. And I think that's where technology is good when it reconnects those parts of your brain that aren't connecting,
Mhm.
kind of thing. So it's that kind of additive experience. One day I'll actually remember people's names, maybe. So, or honestly, it'll probably get worse because I'm kind of getting up there in age. So, could be interesting. So, Katie, are you still with us?
I am. I want a
I
Google Glass type thing for my lens, so I could like look at a person and I'll be like, "This is so and so. You know them. This
Exactly,
is how
right?
you know them."
And also, I like how that thing they're wearing looks. Where can I get one tag for later? And that's, along those lines too, right? So,
Where did I see this cupcake vending machine before?
yeah, exactly.
That's what we need.
Well, isn't that? Oh, has everybody watched the Batman here by chance? It's on HBO
haven't,
Max
but
this
that's
week.
okay.
There is I'm going to give a slight. I don't think it's a spoiler, but he wears his contact lenses, and he actually goes back and reviews the footage for clues. So, Katie, I think that's kind of what you're talking about. Is if we're wearing these lens things that's recording what's going on and things we encounter in day to day, especially as our days get so much shorter and mushed together as we're traveling, and it'd be like, where did I encounter X? It's like, you passed this at Chicago Midway, blah 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 blah, by the bathroom awkwardly. Like that's what it. Is that again that brain and memory extension, right? Which will again, I think, help a lot of us as we get older too. So, but yeah. There was a really interesting article I shared, and I think they talked about this on probably This Week in Google. There's a good Washington Post article about Internet Anglo-speak, changing our language in real time from nip nops to la dollar bean. It was a really interesting read, and I won't get too deep into it other than to mostly recommend what's going on here. There's things where words were kind of banned on certain platforms, so people would come up with different names. Like when the pandemic broke out, TikTok's when you every time you guys every time we put COVID in something, it would get some kind of notification and all the tags, and you can't maybe monetize it on certain platforms and things like that, right? So I love that some are referring to it as the Backstreet Boys reunion tour, or calling it the Panini. Instead of the pandemic, on platforms that would downrank those videos that mention pandemic in name, which are of course efforts to combat misinformation. But geez,
There was a lot of people that were sad that the Backstreet Boys weren't doing a reunion tour, I guess.
Sex workers, according to the article, have long had a problem being censored, refer to themselves on TikTok as accountants. Katie, I feel like this is a story you've brought up before.
We talked about this.
Did we? Did we talk about that?
Yeah, because I said it was something about TikTok. Like we were talking about TikTok, and then I was like,
accountant videos.
And I said, and don't look up don't look up.
Yeah, you're right.
Accountants.
So this
and
is
then, yeah.
This is like more, more about, like more of the different things going on. This was a kind of a fun one. I need to find it now. Hold on, I lost it in the article. There was one where, here it is. So apparently, also on TikTok, users started to say cornucopia rather than homophobia, and other members are of the leg booty community signify they're LGBTQ. And I believe the reason they do that is because if you put LGBTQ in, or LGBT in like not Siri, but like a Siri says it comes out leg booty. Like that's how it interprets that. So they've adopted that. So it's really interesting, and it's about these, many users say nip nops rather than nipples. Let's see if there's any other decent ones in here. So it's really, really interesting. Twitch considers. Go ahead.
Your LE $ bean is lesbian.
Mm-hmm.
And Podner just dropped in the chat about sexual, SEGGS, to get around sexual.
Segual.
Yeah. Yep.
Sexual. They talk about you can't use the word cracker because Twitch considers it a slur no matter if you mean it or not.
Like
So
I had s'mores and I made them with graham crackers.
well, that's appropriate because they just have to say saltines in case when they're talking about crackers. So just to make sure they're getting around something like that. But I mean, this is the kind of thing, where text-to-speech feature pronounces lesbian with the $ instead of an S. So it's kind of battling the algorithms to just kind of have real conversation around a lot of these things, right? On these platforms. It's really interesting to see how that's and that really kind of modifies human language, doesn't it? Since a lot of our communication is happening on these platforms, So that is again, it's Washington Post. That was an article over there. If I can find, oh my God, it's a long article by Taylor Lorenz, who I think I follow on Twitter. She does some really interesting stuff. So technology report. I'm sure I've read a lot of her articles. I'm really bad about not knowing who I read. I'm bad with comic books too. I never know. Of so many years, like I met Mark Waid, and I'm like, I know I've read your stuff. But I have no idea what it was. Right? Turns out it was everything. So, those kinds of things. Chilla, you had this smart home. Smart homes lost their smarts?
Yeah. So, do you remember the company Insteon? Like they made a ton of like different smart home stuff.
Okay.
So I guess kind of overnight, Insteon went goodbye.
Okay.
And left all of those hubs and IoT devices in the lurch.
They just turn off the lights, turn off the servers, and ran away.
I guess. And what was interesting was, and this got me thinking, should I monitor the Twitter accounts for like the products I use? Because they said that the Insteon Twitter account hasn't been active since mid-2021.
Ooh, that's not a good sign.
Right. Now, fortunately enough, their devices did have physical buttons, so people could turn their lights off and on. They could open their garage doors by going old school and pushing the button directly.
But there's somebody who outfitted their entire house with nothing but Insteon, saying, "I'm in the ecosystem. This is the brand I picked. They seem pretty good, right? The reviews look good." And now they're just like, "Well, guess we're starting over." I've worried about that for years with Wise, to be perfectly honest. But I feel that the Wise cameras, I feel like if their service shut down, I feel like there's going to be something I feel like there's going to be a community that'll, like the Pebble Watch, right? Like there's still a community that made the Pebble Watch work. And I feel like these things feel open enough that I could get into them and just turn them into a webcam or something, or my own security cam, throw some software on it, pair them with a Raspberry Pi, something like that, right? But that's not everything. That's definitely not everything, so that is a concern.
Yeah, I just thought it was super interesting, and then the ad the article that I posted from CNET then has 52 different advertisements for other people's IoT devices, but yeah, I don't know. Like, keep your eyes out. Obviously, don't buy Insteon, even if it's on pretty much fire sale.
Do you recommend, as an avid home of the future person, do you advocate for buying known brands as opposed to off brands with a lot of these devices?
So I do, depending on the device. So I advocate for buying something that works cross-platform. So I won't, unless I got it free as part of something else, because I do have a couple, I will not purchase outright anything that doesn't work on Amazon, Google, and Apple. And I will do that for any of the things that you would plug into the wall and then plug something into that. Now, those are usually lower cost, right? You're getting those for like $10 to $20. I do have one or two that I got as part of another bundle that are like Amazon only, and those are like in the Christmas tree box with the Christmas lights. and I only use it at Christmas, right?
Right.
Now, I will say I only buy Lutron light switches, but Lutron is a very well-known company that does not only home equipment, but they do like business, like big building business. The device is a little more expensive, but I've had really good experiences with their light switches. And I don't know, do you have any light switches in your house that are like, it's, how do I put it? You have multiple light switches in the room, but they control the same light. Like sometimes you'll have like one in the middle of the room and then one at the back door. So no matter
the
where
studio
you're
has that. The main not the ones that we're using now, but the main room lights are like that. But not in the house, other than like the hallway light upstairs.
So we have a couple of those, right? Yeah, the hallway light upstairs is a big one. A lot of the I found a lot of the light switch companies, especially the cheaper ones, don't work when there's multiple switches controlling the same light.
Mm-hmm.
When you want to put the smart switches in, or you have to replace all of them with smart switches.
Mm-hmm.
Lutron actually has kind of what I would call a dummy switch.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like a switch. It looks like a switch. It comes with actually a wall plate, but you literally just stick it on the wall anywhere. And it looks just like every other switch, but it actually has a small battery in it. It's a small watch battery. So if you had a panel that you didn't want to mess with the wiring, you could just connect up the wires like it would normally be behind the wall, and then you stick one of these things on. Or if you wanted that, hey, I want to have a switch at the top of the steps, the bottom of the steps, the front door, the back door, you could do just one of their physical switches and then 3 of their dummy switches, and works pretty well. And there's, I think, a kind of a button, if I'm right, there's a button in the center that also you can use as a macro. So if you wanted it to do a bunch of different things, you can set that up. So I love their equipment. It's just a little pricier than some of the
Yeah, I'm seeing that here. We showed a little bit of on Amazon page too. So yeah, I'm not that deep into it. I'm just lucky I have one wall plug in my living room that works, and it's an Amazon plug, and it happens to be where our Echo is, so it works. I should probably go over and I've had cheap switches or cheap plug switches, and like the Sylvania smart bulb, and they always just seem to phase out after so long, right? And
I
just
haven't done any
working.
bulbs. I haven't done any bulbs.
It seems like a bad idea. It really seems like a bad idea. So, like, I got to send a software update to my light bulb, but also some of that may have also been my Wi-Fi situation, since I realized how bad my Wi-Fi situation was at the house, with my metal walls. So, that might be the whole crux of that too. So now that I've updated that, maybe it's good to go back and maybe rethink our automation situation there. But anyways, yeah. So I'm kind of with that. I'm with the idea of, like, good Philip Hughes and Monster seems to be decent lights, Lutron, and I just don't know what all the other brands are. So, well, that's an opportunity, Shella, because I think we're going to have a couple of weeks where we might not be able to do the show live, so we are easily. So maybe it's time to do an update with you on home automation.
We can do one of those, and I'll get a couple of the other ones. I think, is it TP Link? They make some good products. Someone I know outfitted their entire house.
Nice.
With their switches. Yeah, let's do that. And because we could also, I'll do a preview if I can next week, if I get the basement set up. I'm actually setting up a conference room office in the main room, in the fun room. So, because I want to test some stuff, and I don't feel like going into the city all the time.
Especially these days, right? So, are you guys ready? By the way, I think we need a watch along to happen here. Of course, there was the Super Mario anime, which I think came out well before the cartoons, including the Super Mario Super Show here in America. But it was Super Mario's where's the Great Mission to Rescue Princess Peach is on both YouTube and the Internet Archive, and somebody has released a 4K remaster of it. So it was released in Japan in 1986, and I watched a couple of minutes of it, and it looks pretty wild. So
is it English or dubbed or subtitled?
It is subtitled from what I saw. So enjoy that. Get ready for the reading when we do that. But it's pretty. It looks pretty wild. So if you thought they were pretty crack when they had them on in America, these were pretty all over. Captain Lou Albano as Super Mario in the live action ones. Can't forget that.
I'm surprised. You know how Google has done like the auto captioning?
Mm-hmm.
Like they can automatically caption your video. I'm surprised no one's done the inverse where it will do text to speech to speak the subtitles.
Kind of like how Amazon Kindle does that with books.
Yeah. Like why can't they do that where if it's dubbed they could take out like the speech track because it's in a foreign language, but then AI dub in the text to speech for the captions.
I don't know.
Because the other interesting thing is if you ever watched a Netflix series that was obviously originally in another language, but has a dubbed English audio voice track, but is also closed captioned. Like the captions don't match.
Oh, that's across the board. I whenever I'm watching on a plane, I put the captions on just because it's so loud in there. I don't want to like crank up the volume too high. And British accents I have a problem with sometimes. So I'm watching Lucifer, and I'm noticing like half the dialogue doesn't match. Like it's like the sentences have a couple more words fleshing it out.
Like I wonder, did they like take
like
was
the
there,
script
like,
or
the
something?
script?
Yeah, that's what I feel like. Like they took the original script, didn't add any extra ad libs that might have happened, and that was it too. So I've definitely I noticed that series was really bad with that. So, but anyways, is Katie still with us too?
She's with us.
Okay.
Hi.
She's
I'm
riding
never
over
sure.
some bumps.
You're still in the car?
Still in the
I
car.
am. Yeah, Mama Dudders has been driving me around for what feels like days now as I do podcasts and other video calls.
This is the ultimate road warrior call right here. So, have you noticed that with any captions or anything as you've been watching stuff? I don't know. Do you use captions for a lot of stuff?
Just like Chilla said with the Netflix ones that have include them, but I don't normally include the captions if it's in English.
Well, anyways, as I'm literally looking over and watching your captions over on the Facebook page, it's wild that we can do that now. That's amazing. All right. Well, that's everything I got in here, and of the awesome things of the week, I do believe. Yes. Katie, thank you for remotely joining us, and say hi to Mama Dudders for us.
They said hello. She's over me. Nah, she loves me. She gets to spend time with me.
Oh, there you go. Of course, K Dudders on the Twitter. There is currently a campaign for Katie to be a Pittsburgh baddie at the AEW show tomorrow night.
Yep, let you know how that goes. Still haven't heard anything. None of us have. So
you have like 400 retweets or something, don't you? Like it's getting pretty crazy.
Yeah, and everybody else who was mentioned, we're all kind of like texting each other, messaging each other, like, "Have you heard anything?" So no one has.
Oh,
heard
really?
anything, so.
So you now have like a potential baddie friend circle now, huh?
Yep, I have a baddie friend circle because I have baddie friends.
There you go. Well, you start your own Dudder baddies after this. So, and John Chilla at Chilla on the tweets.
John's chill on the Facebooks.
And, of course, at Sorgatron for anything I got going on. Apparently, everybody else is down with the idea of pro wrestling in dead malls. So at least 500 people like that idea, according to this. So that's been a lot of great conversation. And I'm hearing from a lot of promotions that are doing stuff in dead malls and how great that is. So I don't know. I love pro wrestling in weird places. So, and I've gotten to see it in a few weird places a couple times. So thank you, everybody. Please, of course, subscribe if you don't already. Share the show. Let the people know about the AwesomeCast, a little bit of tech talk from a Pittsburgh state of mind. And we do appreciate everybody that does tune into the show, especially those that stay this late in the show to hear this part of it, because I know how attention spans can be. I mean, the number of podcasts I haven't finished, I know, is pretty big. So thank you, everybody. We'll see you again. We'll see. Blah, 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 blah. Roll that back. We'll see you guys next time. You've been our awesome audience. Have an awesome week. This show is a member of the Sorgatron Media Podcast Network. Find out more at sorgatronmedia.com.